We're, we're here with an artist and an expert on the paint she uses to create her art, Valerie. She will explain to us today about painting with acrylic paints and how it is different than painting with other media. Can you tell us what makes acrylic paint different than the other types of paint other artists use?
So acrylic paint is a water soluble, which means it's able to dissolve in water, which makes it easier to clean off the paintbrush after you apply it to the canvas or other material you're using. And that it's also known for being one of the most pigmented of media.
Can you tell us what makes acrylic paint? Can you tell us what acrylic paint is made up of exactly?
Acrylic paint consists of a pigment suspended in a binder of acrylic polymer emulsion.
Could you tell us how the paint dries so quickly compared to the other types of paint artists use?
Well, acrylic paint dries by evaporation.
Is that why acrylics seem to dry faster than the other types of paints?
Yes, like water evaporates quickly, acrylics are fast drying, but it can also vary slightly depending on the heat and humidity of the environment you're in and the material you're using. It also depends on how much paint you apply to the canvas and you're painting with and how thick the paste of the paint is.
So how exactly is the paste for the paint made?
Pigment manufacturers send bags of fine-grained pigments to paint plants, and then therefore the pigment is mixed with a ricin or one or more solvents that diffuses to form a paste.
Is it true that acrylic paint can be both thickened and thinned at the same time?
Yes, there are a few different ways to thicken and thin acrylic paint.
How would you thicken acrylic paint?
Well, to thicken acrylic paint, you could add cornstarch, a fine-grained sand, or crushed eggshells, or a talcum powder to the acrylics.
And how would you thin it?
To thin the acrylics, you would add water and then stir it with the paint, and you could also add a paint thinner so it could adhere to the canvas easier.
How would you describe the acrylic? How does it play a role in chemistry?
The pigment of the paint is made of a man-made material, but is also natural by crushing materials into a fine powder-like texture. It is meant to be mixed with water, oil, or another base with solvents, additives, and ricins to the paste.
Do you happen to know the main activators in the paint?
Yes, I have it on a whiteboard right here. There is ethyl acetate, toluene, alphatic isocyanate, hexamethylene disocyanate, and its formulas for it.
Very interesting. It was a pleasure meeting you and getting to have an interview with an artist who can explain the materials they use to create in their art.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you too.